January 10th on this day. In 49 BC, Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, openly defying the Roman Senate. By declaring the die is cast, he initiated a civil war that would ultimately lead to his appointment as dictator for life. In 1072, Robert Guiscard and his brother Roger captured Palermo in Sicily, marking a significant victory in the Norman conquest of southern Italy. In 1475, Stephen III of Moldavia achieved a major victory by defeating the Ottoman Empire at the Battle of Vaslui. In 1645, William Laud, the Archbishop of Canterbury, was executed on Tower Hill. He was accused of acting as an enemy of the British Parliament. In 1724, King Philip V of Spain shocked Europe by abdicating the throne in favor of his eldest son, Louis. In 1776, Thomas Paine published the pamphlet Common Sense, which powerfully advocated for American independence from Britain. In 1810, the French Church annulled the marriage between Napoleon I and Empress Josephine, ending their influential union. In 1811, over 400 enslaved people staged an uprising near New Orleans. The revolt was brutally suppressed, resulting in the deaths of 66, whose heads were displayed along the roads as a warning. In 1834, John Emmerich Edward Dahlberg Acton, later known as Lord Acton, a renowned English historian and editor, was born. In 1857, French novelist Jules Verne married Honorine de Vian-Morel, a significant event in the life of the celebrated science fiction writer. In 1861, the state of Florida seceded from the Union, soon joining the Confederacy, as tensions escalated at the start of the American Civil War. In 1863, London's Underground Railway began operations, making it the world's first underground transit system. In 1870, John D. Rockefeller, along with his brother William, founded the Standard Oil Company of Ohio, which would become a dominant force in the oil industry. In 1899, Filipino leader Emilio Aguinaldo rejected the Treaty of Paris, opposing the annexation of the Philippines by the United States. In 1901, the first major oil field in Texas was discovered near Beaumont, sparking the Texas oil boom. In 1901, the Automobile Club of America began placing signs on major highways, promoting safer and more organized travel. In 1903, Argentina banned the importation of American beef due to sanitation concerns, reflecting changing attitudes toward food safety and international trade. In 1911, two German cruisers, the Emden and the Nürnberg, quelled a revolt on the island of Ponape in the Caroline Islands by bombarding the island and landing troops. In 1912, the world's first flying boat airplane, designed by Glenn Curtiss, made its maiden flight at Hammondsport, New York. In 1917, the Entente powers officially rejected Germany's peace proposal and demanded the return of occupied territories, further escalating World War I. In 1918, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a pivotal bill supporting women's suffrage, advancing the movement for women's right to vote. In 1920, the League of Nations was established in Geneva, marking a new era of international cooperation after World War I. In 1920, the Treaty of Versailles took effect, officially ending World War I and imposing terms on Germany. In 1923, the United States withdrew its last troops from Germany, marking the end of the post-World War I occupation. In 1936, actress Mary Pickford divorced actor Douglas Fairbanks after 15 years of marriage, ending one of Hollywood's most famous unions. In 1940, German planes attacked 12 ships off the British coast, sinking 3 vessels and resulting in the deaths of 35 people. In 1941, the Soviet Union and Germany agreed on new East European borders and the exchange of industrial equipment, highlighting ongoing geopolitical negotiations during World War II. In 1945, legendary British singer and songwriter Rod Stewart was born. He would go on to have an influential career with hits like Maggie May. In 1946, the United Nations General Assembly held its first meeting in London, setting the stage for decades of global diplomacy. In 1946, scientists detected radar signals bouncing off the moon for the first time, a milestone in space exploration. In 1946, a brief halt in fighting occurred between Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist forces and the Communist Army in China. In 1949, American boxer George Foreman was born in Marshall, Texas. He would later become the oldest world heavyweight champion at age 45. In 1953, acclaimed singer Pat Benatar was born. She would go on to win 4 Grammy Awards with hits like Hit Me With Your Best Shot. In 1958, Jerry Lee Lewis's song Great Balls of Fire reached #1 on the United Kingdom pop charts, reflecting the energy of the early rock and roll era. In 1964, Panama broke diplomatic ties with the United States and demanded a revision of the Panama Canal Treaty, intensifying tensions in the region. In 1967, Edward W. Brooke of Massachusetts became the first African American popularly elected to the United States Senate, marking a historic milestone in American politics. In 1984, the United States and the Vatican established full diplomatic relations for the first time in 117 years, fostering renewed cooperation. In 1985, Daniel Ortega became president of Nicaragua, vowing to continue the country's transformation into a socialist state, closely aligned with the Soviet Union and Cuba. In 1999, The Sopranos, starring James Gandolfini as mob boss Tony Soprano, premiered on HBO. The series quickly earned critical acclaim and became a classic of American television. In 2007, a general strike began in Guinea, eventually leading to the resignation of President Lansana Conté and significant political change.
Subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's events.